So for the past 3 weeks, I have been based out of Belgrade, Serbia. And in today's video, I want to tell you a little bit the backstory of what brought me here, what I'm up to, and also what the plan is for the next few months. You see, for people that have been following for the past few months or maybe even years, you probably know the story already. But I've started this channel like 3-4 years ago really actively with the idea to, on the one side, travel, but also even more, let's say, just have a more global life, which was a dream back then. You know, it was just a crazy idea. And last year, around, what was it, October, that's when I fully jumped into this, call it nomadic life. I wanted basically to live in a lot of different countries. And while I've already been traveling once for a year, non-stop, this was like the first big trip, 2017, where I also started this channel. And this year, obviously, it has been looking very different for all of us. And even with COVID and due to COVID, I happened to go to a lot of places I didn't see myself. You know, in the beginning of the year, I thought, you know, we're gonna travel a lot, we're gonna live in a lot of different countries, and then everything changed, all countries closed down. And that was also the moment where I actually met Bianca. Well, we have been, as you probably could have told, traveling together most of the time. And with her visa, with her passport, it has been quite tricky. Like a lot of countries that we maybe would have been able to meet, not possible because she didn't extend her Schengen visa. And with that, it happened to be that the countries where we could go to were very limited. But also the time we could stay there was limited. So after being, 3 months in Belarus, 3 months in Albania, was an interesting time. All the videos are on this channel. A month in Turkey, and then we had to leave due to visa reasons. A month in Ukraine, and so it was a lot of hopping around that now finally kind of brought me here to Serbia. And the reason kind of like why I now moved to Serbia and hopefully will stay here a little bit longer is that I wanted to, again, have a little bit more of a regular life. Like with, you know, visas expiring, it ended up to be quite stressful. And again, this video is kind of like a little bit, let's say, the dark truth, the dirty truth, or whatever. The downside, very simple, of this cool lifestyle that on video might look super cool and super like, wow, this guy's just traveling, how's that possible, even like during COVID. And it's more like, you know, looking for a base where I can stay a little bit longer right now, actually, together with Bianca. And this is what brought me at the end of the day to Serbia, but also to wrap up the year. Even though I maybe had to leave countries sometime sooner, like for example, I would have liked to stay much longer in Ukraine or in Turkey, it brought me to kind of like interesting countries. And to come back to Serbia right now, where I'm staying and was based for the past 3 weeks pretty much at this point. The city, even though it's cold, for me it is like right now the perfect mix. It has very nice cafes, it has a nice city center, it has some nice areas to explore on the good weather's day, but obviously right now it's just the beginning of December. So yeah, the weather is not really on my side, and I definitely will have come back to Belgrade at some point. But this is pretty much the story right now of moving around, sometimes voluntary, sometimes like, you know, I really wanted to go to Turkey for the warm weather. It was a great time, but after a month we had to leave. And yeah, now Serbia kind of right now is the best place to be for me. And what is the plan for the next few months? So I think everything is kind of like happening week by week. Some countries are opening up, maybe Southeast Asia, maybe Bali would be cool, obviously. But also at some point, Bianca wants to go home. In some ways, she got like locked out. It's kind of like a funny story that in the beginning she was like, well, fine, I'm gonna stay a little bit longer outside of the country, and now she cannot really go back. So she has been living or is living in some way. Still, she hasn't been home, I think, for 9 months now in China. So she's planning to go there, obviously, at some point. And I think sooner or later that is also going to bring me there as well. So yeah, so at some point she obviously also hopes to go back. So I think that will kind of like be our travel plan to get her home, hopefully in a few months. But also, actually, like she told me at some point, that's what she wanted to do for a very long time anyway, live abroad, maybe travel, and out of very unforeseen circumstances, we met back in Bali. And since then, most of the time I've been traveling together. She actually also just started her channel like a few months ago. And right now she's working a lot. She's actually right now out in a cafe working on the video, so I'll link it in the description below. You can check it out. Well, and this is basically the story what brought me to Serbia, and to share a few impressions with you. Like for me personally, I speak English probably the most in my life for the past years. I speak German, this is where I grew up, and I speak Russian from my parents. I mean, again, most people who watch this channel for a while know that already. And with that, the Serbian language, I can actually understand it quite well. In some ways, it reminds me of Ukrainian. So even though I definitely far from fully understand it, like if he would talk smack about me in a corner, I maybe could get the basic gist of what is happening. But that actually made it a little bit easier to get around here, even if people don't understand me. And overall, people are pretty laid back, and I'm sure in the summer it's a much even cooler place to be. So we'll see how long I will end up staying here overall. Actually, as of right now, this is the last night. I set up this little office situation here to get some editing done, and this is also kind of like the other topic. So this is also the big picture of what my channel is about right now. It is about living in different countries and documenting the daily life. It's not just traveling and passing through. It's really, setting up multiple bases, staying for at least a month, sometimes 3 months, sometimes even longer in one place, finding a little bit my spot here. And now I'm really excited to do that as well in Serbia and Belgrade. Already feel so familiar, walked around so much. You can check out the previous videos. I think I'll also just, I probably will put some footage from the previous video on top of this one right now. So if you're new, definitely consider subscribing. You can join me on Instagram for more, like, let's say, frequent updates. Sometimes I share a little bit where I go and give some insights on that as well. And yeah, if you're curious, like just what I do, like I run a few YouTube channels. This one is, you could say, the bigger project, travel videos. Next to that, I have a few other YouTube channels that I'm working on. And have also, let's say, some projects that I haven't been talking about too much because I decided to make, let's say, Then You Gotta World See a little bit more, again, travel focused, and do all my other things on different channels. Also, my second channel, haven't been uploading there in a while, but that is also something that I'm working on actually right now. Right now, moving out the next morning. This is a little bit like the crazy setup here. Bianca also uploading a video, I'm uploading a video. And this apartment has been actually quite nice. Stayed here for almost 2 weeks, and check out this light. It's almost like they built it for filming videos. This was the beginning of the video, a little bit of a cool studio setup. So maybe I just walk over here just to share with you, this is my life. Because now I came to Serbia, this is my life every like 1 to 2 weeks, luckily. So living in one place for kind of like around that time. But often also when you're on the road, booking places last minute, it just eats up some of your time, and this is kind of like the downside of it. Like at some point it's very exciting to move through different apartments, and at another point, got like a nice nature view here. So also to give you the background here, we were paying €23 a night. I'm not sure if it's lower because of COVID, but roundabout this is the area. It's a little bit old school, the apartment, but super nice and clean. So we're going right now to Novi Sad. She always cleans up the apartment like crazy.
Like how you come in, how you go out, it stays the same.
Damn, what a gangster. Oh my goodness. He's here. Wow. Look at this dog. He's coming for you, baby. He's literally... Okay guys, so there we are. This is the luggage. So right now we just got out of the house. Have you seen this dog? Seriously, we seen him some other night. Like I was saying, in Serbia there's so many people with their dogs, and it's like either you have like a huge amazing dog or you have 2 dogs. Like you have to compete somehow here in the neighborhood. He's huge. Like maybe you've seen him next to Bianca. Like there's no doubt about it. He's bigger, twice the size maybe. I mean seriously, like he weighs probably like my weight, like whatever. But enough about the dog. To share with you living in Serbia. So yeah, over 2 weeks already. For me personally, Serbia has been like a really good base. Obviously, like the very obvious downside is I'm definitely not in the best season here. It's cold, it's gloomy, it's dark. But even with that, city had some really nice corners, and it's like a really good city, let's say, as a Digital Nomad base. It's pretty affordable, not the cheapest place, but very affordable. So far, Airbnbs, grocery shopping, all of that is like really good. And like SIM cards, all the utilities you need, gym, I showed it in another video. So it's definitely a good place to live, and this is also why we chose it next to the visa options. Like again, this morning I was doing some research for where we can go, and the options are so limited. And you know, by no means complaining, but this is like, let's say, the yeah, the downside of this lifestyle. You know, like right now I don't have a place to go home, I don't have an apartment, and with that, like, you know, the idea was like to move around, and yeah, right now it's just like, well, in 2 weeks you have to leave the country, so figure out the way, figure out where you're gonna go. And obviously this can be stressful, but yeah, just want to really share with you the realistic perspective as well. While I cannot complain, I mean, this life, this was a dream, it has been good to me, and living it right now. And the way we're doing it is we're moving right now from Belgrade to Novi Sad. I heard there is a bus going every hour. We're gonna see if that is true. So 15-minute walk, you know, probably, hopefully gonna be there in an hour or two. It's not far, it's like 100-something kilometers, so let's go. So right now inside of a telephone shop, getting another SIM card. 2 weeks, 10 gigabytes. Don't have my two hands right now, but and it's only 500 dinar, which is like a little bit less than $5. It's like €4. A really good deal. I've been already using for 2 weeks. Gonna refresh it a little bit in the back there.
Novi Sad is one of the beautiful.
Everybody's recommending us to go there.
I love Novi Sad, yeah.
Okay, cool, awesome.
Especially in the summer, you have the festivals there. Not this year,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but Exit Festival is.
And 10 minutes. Okay guys, so next day right now in Novi Sad, just heading out, first impression. And today is the first day where they have the weekend lockdown. And because of that, the streets are full of people. Like, that sounds a little bit counterintuitive, but dogs are hunting people on the bikes. Ah, look at you guys, he's gone. Well, basically right now, first impression of Novi Sad during lockdown, but the streets are busy, people are in a good mood. Let's check it out. And so with that, I think we're gonna wrap up today's video. So it has been moving from one city to another. Like, they're just leveling it up. 1 second.
They're like, let the world hear us.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's little video, moving from one city to another, a little bit talking about the situation right now. So we're gonna be in Novi Sad for a few days. Today actually is the first day where it's on, like, they have a full-on lockdown, but bakeries and stuff like that are open, supermarkets are open, so we're gonna be fine. And actually the energy outside is super nice. People are going out, people are like, well, if we cannot go to stores, we're just gonna go for a walk, and the weather is also really nice. So we're gonna get a, let's say, first little impression. I think I'm gonna do a video on this city as well. I'm gonna keep you updated. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to join me on this journey of living in multiple countries. Who knows how next year is gonna look like, but definitely we're gonna see some new places, live in some new places. Check out my other projects I'm doing in the description box, and we're gonna see each other very soon.